What's going on, Legionnaires, and welcome back to Comic Breakdown. If you guys are new to the channel, do me a favor and hit that sub button, hit that notification bell, and make sure you're not missing any of the awesome content we have coming out. Now, for this video, we're going to be covering Justice League Last Ride issue number 2. And if you didn't catch issue number 1, go ahead and check out the link in my description, as well as the top of this video. It will get you completely caught up on everything going on in this line. Now, this is written by Chip Starsky. Pencils are Miguel Medonca, inks are the same, and so far in this line, what we have seen is this stand apart from everything that is currently going on in DC Comics. And they're giving Chip Starsky an opportunity to really write his own story. And so what we have seen is the Trinity fall apart. Something happened with their battle on Apokolips. Something that Superman could not forgive Batman for. And with that being said, let's dive into this breakdown. Alright guys, so as we dive into this issue, it picks us up before. It picks us up right in the middle of the battle with Darkseid and all of his forces. And we see the amazing Wonder Woman in all of her golden armor glory. And she is wielding her sword, striking down every enemy that comes her way. And as she is battling all of these forces, holding everybody off, this is where Granny comes flying in and jabs a spear into her side. With Wonder Woman screaming out in pain, she grabs her sword and she flings it behind her, decapitating Granny in one swing. And right now, she's trying to get in communication with Cyborg, because Cyborg, his mission right now is to evacuate Earth. Because right now, Darkseid is using the boom tubes to transport bombs all over the place. He has initiated his war with the universe. And Cyborg is believing that it's just near impossible. Nightwing chiming in and saying that it's the same in Gotham City. That there's just too many people. And Nightwing is actively working to get people underground, hoping that that might help if they don't do this in time. If they're not able to evacuate all of the people in time. And in the oceans, we see Arthur making his way to the Indian Ocean, because the marine life have let him know of something that is there, and he is feeling an electrical current, and he can only assume that it is a boom tube that has opened up. And as he's on his way there to stop whatever it is, we see him rise out of the water, only to see that he is too late. And the bomb, it's already dropping. And Cyborg is desperately trying to get a hold of Aquaman, but his comms go dead. We can only assume that the blast took out Aquaman. And Cyborg lets Batman know exactly what's going on, lets him know the situation, and lets him know that he currently can't get a hold of Arthur. And right now, Batman and Martian Manhunter are at Darkseid's control center. They're doing their best to try to decode this whole system. And what he's doing here is plugging in the relay so they can send it to Cyborg, so Cyborg can try and shut this all down. Because if they can shut down the boom tubes, then they might be able to stop this invasion, at least temporarily. It'll stop the bombs from dropping. And this is when Martian Manhunter lets Batman know that there are some parademons on their way, and there is also something else, something much darker that is headed for them. And he asks the question, if Cyborg can't break this, if he can't figure out the decoding, what is our plan? And for one of the first times ever, you hear Batman say, I don't know. And as they stand here and wait for whatever forces are coming, Batman tells Martian Manhunter that that door should be impenetrable. But there is one thing that can break through it. That one thing being Darkseid himself. And if he is here, there's no stopping him. But it shouldn't be Darkseid, because Darkseid is being tracked by Hal and Clark right now. And this is when Batman tries to get in communication with Superman, and trying to see if maybe Darkseid has shown up on Oa yet. Because that's where Hal Jordan and that's where Superman are. And Superman lets him know that Darkseid has not gotten here yet. But his forces, they've gotten here and they have taken hold, and they are doing their best to hold off all of Darkseid's army. And Hal Jordan telling the Guardian that is by his side that he needs to get him and the rest of them off planet as soon as possible. And he even tells the Guardian, like, I told you this would happen. The Guardians left Apocalypse unchecked for so long. The Guardians and their truce with all of Apocalypse. And the Guardian, he tries to refute this, but also says, you know, if we didn't do this truce, then Darkseid would have come for us. But at this point, it just doesn't matter anymore because they're already here. That's happening right now, regardless of that truce ever existing. And so Hal Jordan, he asked the Guardian where the rest of his brothers are right now. And the Guardian tells him that they have all made it off planet, that he is the last one here. Now at this point, Superman is starting to worry that their attack on Oa might actually just be a distraction to move Clark away from the battle and have Darkseid attack another location. But this is where Batman, he's just as blunt as he can possibly be with Superman. And he tells him that Martian Manhunter and him, they're gonna sit and they're gonna hold this position as long as they possibly can. But he tells them that he has to stop Darkseid. He has to stop him from getting to the central battery. Because if he gets his hands on that battery, he will have more power than anybody knows what to do with, and there will be no way of ever stopping him. And in the midst of this conversation, Superman can feel the change in the air. He can feel the charge. And this is when he knows it. Darkseid has arrived. And we see Darkseid step out of the portal holding two Guardians dead in his hands, apologizing for his tardiness, but saying that he had some errands that he had to take care of. Now that's what will bring us to present day. And right now, our Justice League is making their way through space. And in custody, they have the one, the only, the notorious Lobo. And the Justice League has been tasked with keeping him protected until his trial has come. And as they're flying through space, Wally West is trying to have some kind of conversation with Batman. Because right now, he's really worried. Martian Manhunter has died, Superman has been blaming Batman for this, and now they are taking Lobo to the far reaches of the universe. They're taking Lobo to Apocalypse. You know, this is the place where everything happened. This is where Martian Manhunter, this is where he died. But Batman, he believes that nobody will suspect hiding Lobo on Apocalypse. And so, in theory, it's the best location to keep him protected. And Wally, you know, he gets it. He's like, I get it. I agree with you, but is all of this worth it? Because to do this, we need everybody's head in the game. And Wally West is really concerned that Clark Kent is just not there right now. Everything that has happened, and now they're returning to the scene of the crime, if you will. And so, Wally is super concerned on the mental state of Clark right now. And Batman tells Wally, you know, you can come with us and do this, but regardless of Clark being here or not, we're gonna do this mission. And Wally, realizing that he needs to walk away from this conversation, goes into the back of the ship where Lobo and Wonder Woman are. Wonder Woman keeping guard over him as they're making their trek to Apocalypse. And as he goes back here, Lobo, you know, he kind of taunts him, lets him know that no, Batman's mad right now because he knows what they should do. They should chop Lobo up into little pieces and dump him into space. You know, that's what Lobo would do. That's what he thinks that they should do to him. Because at the end of the day, that is going to be the best thing for any of them, to ensure none of them get hurt in this endeavor. But this is where we see a conversation between Wonder Woman and Wally West. Because Wally, he's never been to Apocalypse before. And so right now he's a little on edge. He's a little bit nervous. But Wonder Woman tells him that he should really count himself lucky. Because the Apocalypse that she knows is a fiery hell landscape. The underworld come to the surface. A place of torture and torment, of terrors and disillusion. But where they're going, it's more of a skeleton of what once was. But Lobo chimes in and tells them, you know, they're all extremely dumb if they don't believe that Apocalypse is still a death trap. And with that, Wally West checks in with Superman, because Superman and John Stewart are currently flying outside of the ship, kind of doing their outside security, while Hal Jordan, he has gone ahead so he can scout Apocalypse to make sure that they're not going to run into any unpleasantries along their way. And even out here, John Stewart is trying to have a conversation with Clark because he's also worried. He's worried about all of this bad blood between the team right now. But Jon Stewart, he's really starting to believe that this bad blood that's between Superman and Batman, this bad blood is Superman fighting himself, feeling the guilt that he wasn't there to save Martian Manhunter. And Jon Stewart tries to tell him that Martian Manhunter, he made the choice, the choice that any of us would make. This is what it means to be a hero. But in the midst of their conversation, this is when they realize a ship is getting sucked into the black hole that they've been skirting along. One of its main thrusters have gone out, and it looks like they are about to be perished. They are about to be taken off the map. But in a split second, Superman rushes over and he grabs onto the ship, trying to push it away from the black hole. But even Superman is sitting here struggling, not sure if he is going to be able to push this ship out of this pool. This is when we see the arrival of Hal Jordan. And with the assistance of Jon Stewart, the three of them push this ship out of the pool of the black hole, telling them that they need to get to a location to find some repairs. Now, the issue with this is they were really trying to travel incognito. They were trying not to be detected by anybody. But the word is going to be out that 2 Green Lanterns just saved this entire ship. But these are the split-second decisions that we're talking about, that Jon Stewart was referring to when talking about Martian Manhunter. We saw Superman jump into action without thinking, because this is what they do. He took that risk not knowing what would happen, and Martian Manhunter did the same thing. But this is when Batman comes over the comms and lets them know that they're gonna be coming in hot, because they have arrived at Apocalypse. And so far from the outside, it appears dormant. And Lobo chimes in with a good little laugh, lets them know that he usually loves doing the killing, but this time he's gonna sit back and watch as all of them die. And that will be the end of this issue. So let me know what you guys think down in the comments. You know, when it comes to comic books, I am not a picky person. It doesn't take a great story to please me, and this one is no exception. I truly believe that this was a great story. Chip Zdarsky has been writing some amazing things in comics lately, and this Last Ride story is a lot of fun. It definitely breaks up the monotony of Infinite Frontier, of Future State, of all these big events that are going on, and we're getting a more standalone little mini-series that is showing us a different side of the Justice League. A Justice League that's not united, a Justice League that's broken apart, but still have a mission to do. And I really look forward to seeing more between Darkseid and Superman, between whatever happened in Martian Manhunter, between Martian Manhunter and Batman. So yeah, I think this line is very promising. We're definitely going to be keeping up with it. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments. If you have not yet, do me a favor, hit that sub button. Hit the notification bell, make sure you don't miss any of the awesome content we have coming out. And until the next breakdown.